Good afternoon. Here is iPower 102.7 FM Media News. I am Florence IBHAREMAN. First, the headlines. Ondo Amotekun petitions assembly. Nopeng and Dangote at loggerheads. On the foreign scene, earthquake erupts Afghanistan. And in sports, Austin Eguavoen expresses ordeal. Details of these and more in a moment. Please stay with us. Operative of the Ondo State Security Network Agency, also known as Amotekun Co., has petitioned the State House of Assembly over the non-issuance of formal appointment letter nearly 4 years after their recruitment. The aggrieved officers, in a petition filed by their legal counsel and human rights activist Tope Temoko, lamented the state government's failure to regularize their official engagement since they were recruited in 2020. While describing the situation as pathetic, particularly when compared to the benefits and formal employment structures enjoyed by their counterparts in other southwest states, the operatives said they were only issued warrant cards, a practice which deprived them of their fundamental labor rights. The petition addressed to the Speaker of the Ondo State House of Assembly, Olamide Oladiji, was also copied to the State Attorney General Dr. Kayode Ajulo, the State Labour Congress, the Trade Union Congress, the House Committee on Human Capital Development, and the Committee on Allocation and Welfare. The meeting between the federal government, executive of the Nigerian Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers Nopeng, Dangote Group and other stakeholders ended in a stalemate. It could be recalled that the federal government had announced a meeting on Monday, September 8, to resolve the face-off between Nopeng and the Dangote Group. No official detail of the outcome from the meeting have been made public by the Minister of Labour and Employment, Mohammed Dangaji. The leadership of Nopeng, led by Williams Aporeha, or the Dangote Group. However, the national president of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Abubakar Mangandi, maintained that both parties need to come to a sustainable resolution for the good of all Nigerians. The Joint Admission and Matriculation Board (JAMB) Special Committee on Examination Infractions has presented its report to the examination body, exposing how technology-driven malpractice is undermining Nigerians' admission process. The registrar of the board, Professor Isiaq Oloyede, and the chairman of the committee, Jake Ekpele, said the team uncovered 4,251 cases of finger bending and 192 instances of AI-assisted impersonation through image morphing during its investigation into the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination. The committee said that it documented 1,878 false disability claims, forged credentials, multiple national identification NIN registration numbers, and collusion between candidates and Examination Syndicate. The panel, inaugurated on the August 18, was charged with the responsibility of probing rising infraction, reviewing JAM system, and recommending reforms. You're still listening to iPower 102.7 FM Media News. Still to come on the foreign scene. Please stay with us. Over 100 South Korean women were forced to work as prostitutes for U.S. soldiers stationed in the country. Over 100 South Korean women who were forced to work as prostitutes for U.S. soldiers stationed in the countries have filed a landmark lawsuit accusing Washington of abuse. Report says thousands South Korean women worked for state-sanctioned brothels from the 1950s to 1980s, serving U.S. troops stationed in the countries to protect the South from the North Korea. As of last week, about 117 victims filed a fresh lawsuit accusing and seeking an apology from the U.S. military for the first time. A deadly earthquake has killed about 2,200 people in the village of Afghanistan, flattening the entire community and their homes. The United Nations said the earthquake had struck some of the most remote rural areas in the country, making the delivery of humanitarian aid difficult. It is believed that 500,000 people may have been affected by the earthquake, including 250 children. Technical Director, Nigerian Football Federation, Austin Eguavoin, has declared that the Super Eagles cannot afford to lose against Bafana Bafana of South Africa. The Super Eagles, who defeated Rwanda 1-0 in Uyo, trailed South Africa by 6 points on the Group C log. Another win against Bafana Bafana will see Eric Chess's side cut South African lead to 3 and put them in a good position to qualify for the Global Soccer Fiesta. To end the iPower 102.7 FM Media News, let us take another look at the main points. We told you in the course of the bulletin that operative of the Ondo State Security Network Agency, also known as Amotekun, has petitioned the State House of Assembly over the non-issuance of former appointment letter nearly 4 years after their recruitment. We equally informed that the meeting between the federal government, executive of the Nigerian Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers (NUPENG), Dangote Group and other stakeholders ended in a stalemate. A deadly earthquake has killed about 2,200 people in the village of Afghanistan, flattening the entire community and their homes. And finally, in the sporting arena, Technical Director, Nigerian Football Federation (NFF), Austin Eguavoen, has declared that the Super Eagles cannot afford to lose against Bafana Bafana of the South Africa. And that was the midday news on iPower 102.7 FM as edited by Akin Adebayo. I am Florence IBHAREMAN. Many thanks for listening. Good afternoon.
The best station, music, news, sports, and entertainment. We are high power.